coast to coast, every night, midnight to 5 a.m. right here on WRMN AM 1410 and 96.7 FM.
Baseball season's underway. Well, you better get ready for a brand new day.
Well, it's snowing outside, so maybe baseball season's not underway yet. But welcome back to the first shift here on WRMN. We got some guests in the studio. There's a song you hear every time the Cubs win at Wrigley Field. Go Cubs, go. And here in the studio with me today, first of all, we have one of our sports guys sitting to my left, Derrick Geyer, who's on every Saturday morning with the On the Rise show. How you doing, Derrick?
Doing pretty good, Mark. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Thanks for coming in every Saturday morning and bringing some sports to WRMN.
Oh, it's my pleasure. My absolute pleasure.
On the Rise, originally created to talk about some players as they come up through the system, right, and eventually get to the big leagues.
Yeah, come up through the system, dealing with Kane County Cougars, Schaumburg Boomers, Chicago Dogs. Obviously they're not playing baseball right now in this weather or this time of year, but we're also talking Chicago Steel, Chicago Wolves, Rockford Ice Hogs.
Yeah.
Windy City Bulls. So, and it's an eclectic mix because we will be talking Major League Sports as well.
Right.
I believe we mentioned something about the Cubs convention last week. Sammy Sosa coming back into town, being re-ingratiated with, the Cubs Nation and the Ricketts and, all of that. And, we've got some special guests in the studio as well.
We do. We have Chris Keller, who has been on the radio station plenty of times in the past. He's with Top Shelf Sports Cards, and welcome back, Chris.
Hey, thanks for having me back, man.
How you been?
Hey, it's been a while since I've been here. I love it.
Yeah. How are things at Top Shelf? It sounds like you're doing pretty well.
Yeah, to quote a good friend of mine, the hobby is alive. So
yeah, if you can live your hobby, you're doing okay, right?
Exactly. If you can wake up each day and play with sports cards, you're probably doing all right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
you
started off of Larkin Avenue.
We were on Larkin, yes.
And then now you're on Randall Road, right?
We're on Randall Road. This is our 5th summer already on Randall Road.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like it was just the grand opening. That's how fast time flies. So yeah, this is our 5th summer, and it's a great location. We're actually in a remodel right now, kind of a refreshing remodel. I'm not knocking down walls and rebuilding, but every once in a while you got to refresh the place. So we're going to be doing some paint and putting in some new display cases, more cards. Want to offer more cards, being a sports card store. So that'll be done probably within the next few weeks.
I remember seeing you in your old location, and I think you authenticated a Bob Gibson autograph that I have on a baseball.
Oh, yeah? We did.
You had the autograph authenticator guy there?
Yes. Probably JSA or one of those companies.
Yeah. Well, good. I'm glad you're doing well, man. On Randall Road. Randall's a big road. Where on Randall are you?
Right there at 20 in Randall.
Okay.
Across from
just a little bit south of 20.
A little bit south of 20, correct. Yeah, right past 20 there in front of that big Target. Next to the Dunkin' Donuts. There's a newer Dunkin' Donuts they put up there maybe 2-3 years ago.
On the east side of the street.
It is on the east side of the street, which is the Riverside.
And what's the nearest, what's that street that's right there?
The cross street?
The one that goes, Isn't there a street?
Oh, the one that goes out that you can go up to the college, to ECC that goes up. I don't know. Do you know the name of that road that goes behind it?
Well, our listeners know.
Right, the Burger King Road.
Right. We'll find out. It's a well-known road around here.
Yes.
9:10 here at WRMN, and we have Brandon Summers with us this morning too. He's making a lot of this happen with Sammy Sosa coming to Old Republic on the 1st of February. Welcome, Brandon.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yeah, so who are you? I mean, you are a manager for Sammy Sosa, is that right?
Yeah, so I manage all of his public events, live signings, autograph signings, and sports cards as well for Sammy Sosa.
So how long have you been doing that?
I've been doing in the industry for about 10 years. I've been doing it with Sammy for about a year now.
Okay. Because, and how did you meet Sammy Sosa? Because I know Sammy coming back to this area and as Derrick said, re-ingratiating himself with Cubs fans and with the Cubs in general is fairly recent.
Yes, absolutely. So we brought him in, it was a few months ago now, probably about 8 months ago, we brought him in for an autograph signing for private signing. So where he comes in and signs, X amount of autographs for us in a room just of us and my team. And when we bought in, we started talking to him. We got a really good rapport from him, and it turned out to be, he wanted to grab lunch with me. We sat down and talked for a little while, and the rest is history. We kind of ended up where we are here.
Yeah. So he's going to be here on a week from Saturday at the Old Republic, great restaurant, one of the Karras family of restaurants near Top Shelf Sports Cards, right? When I called you yesterday, you were there.
I was there.
You were there.
I'm there quite often. Yeah, I love the place. It's going to be in a tented area, outside the heated tented area.
Yeah.
And it's going to be all designated just for Sammy. So it's all ages. I don't want people to think they hear bar and kitchen. It's all ages, so you can bring the family. And
oh, yeah. They got a great menu, and that heated, tented area is great.
We're doing 10% off Old Republic. You get 10% off with your paid ticket as well.
Okay.
You can hang out and eat lunch or stay.
And the event itself is from noon to 3:30 on Saturday, February 1st, right? Noon
to 3:30. We're doing a Q&A session at noon with Sammy.
Okay.
Up there, just ask some questions and talk to Sammy, and then the signing will begin, and then you can get your photos afterwards with Sammy, post photos at our banner.
Huh. Now, what are some of the options that some of the fans can expect once they're out there?
You can get your items signed and things?
Items signed or photos or, any of the autographs that you guys are, featuring with Sammy.
Well, Brandon's going to have on hand and on site, we're going to have some baseballs.
Yeah, we're going to have baseballs, bats, photos, jerseys.
There's going to be a lot of people at Old Republic for lunch or whatever, and they may not have an item to get signed, so they can purchase those and then purchase their ticket on site. But most people will bring their own item.
Like the shirt that I have on?
Yes. There you go, Mark. You're going to get that signed, and you're going to meet Sammy. So you can bring your favorite items.
That is really what it's all about.
Yeah, the fun part of doing what he does and what I've done over the years, more so in the Star Wars world, but it's really cool to see the collectors and the stuff that they bring. They'll bring old ticket stubs. They'll bring old, beat up old jerseys like that. No, I'm kidding.
No,
it's a nice one.
It is. No, it was in my garage for a long time, honestly. I hate to say that, but it was.
Yep. Well, it's time to bring it out.
I finally brought it in, washed it, and then I'm trying to bring it back to fruition.
There you go.
Get Sammy's signature on it. I used to be back in the 90s when Sammy came into superstardom with the Cubs. I mean, it was an amazing time for Sammy, and during the whole home run. Baseball was going through some tough times, right, Chris, in the mid-1990s, and then the home run extravaganza broke out, and with Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa, and Sammy was a huge Cubs favorite during his years, especially in the 90s with the Cubs.
Yep. I arrived in Chicago in 2003, and then I moved up to the north side, so I wasn't there for all of that, but of course, as a sports fan, I remember it all. And it's just good to see him back in the Hall of Fame with the Cubbies,
Yeah.
Makes sense.
I mean, after the lockout, Sammy and Mark McGwire, they basically brought baseball back. They brought the fans back in droves. It was one of the things that if you weren't paying attention to the game, you were rushing home to see, because you didn't really have all of the access of the internet in the palm of your hand back then. So you're just, and without Sammy and without Mark, I don't think baseball would be, at the heights that it is right now.
Well, and even when we were at the Cubs convention all weekend, we had just people coming up to us and saying, thank you for saving baseball. Sammy, you saved baseball. You saved baseball. And it was incredible to see and just watch and listen to, the stories that people had to share that they remembered from watching him play and all the great,
Absolutely.
memories they had.
And even hearing some of the post Cubs convention interviews with Sammy, it sounds like 21 years removed from the organization, coming back, doing the whole, I don't know what you would call it, like, I'm sorry or whatever, or just, re-ingratiating himself with the Cubs fans, with the Ricketses, and it wouldn't be the Cubs Hall of Fame if he isn't in there.
Right.
Because, let's be honest, he saved baseball.
Yeah. And his numbers, even in one of the interviews, when he said, he goes, my numbers are nasty. And it really is. When you look at his stats and when you look at his numbers, for him not to be in the Cubs baseball, Hall of Fame, it was a tragedy. So we're very happy that he's back. And it was incredible to see the Chicago Cubs fans and everybody that was there to support him. I mean, it was a crazy time. Like, everybody was so happy. It was just everybody. It was alive again, because Sammy was back.
Time heals all wounds, they say, I believe.
Yeah.
That they do.
Sometimes it takes
so
time.
there's that side of it, but it's like, man, that was 25 years ago, whatever it is. So
Sometimes it takes time, and
yes.
if you look at the YouTube feed right there, WRMN Radio on YouTube, maybe kind of hard to see, but Sammy Sosa has smashed the most career home runs for the Cubs, 545 in a Cubs uniform, I guess.
Insane.
545, including the 66 in the year that Mark McGwire hit 70. And Ernie Banks, number 2 at 512, then Billy Williams, Ron Santo, Ryan Sandberg, Anthony Rizzo, Ramos Ramirez. Ramirez, a great player in his own right.
I don't see Ryan Terrio on there. No, I'm kidding.
Ryan.
Did you say 66 versus Mark McGwire 70?
66.
Wow. Okay.
And
cool.
coming down to the last few days, I think Sammy may have had the lead for a minute there in that home run battle.
Yeah,
that
He
was
did.
something.
he did.
Yeah.
And I know he ended his career with 609. So,
Yep.
609. He started with the White Sox.
yep.
And he was just
Oh, we don't want to talk about that.
No.
Sammy Sosa with the Chicago White Sox was a skinny young guy who's fast. Skinny and fast. And the Cubs got him. I don't remember. Chris, you remember who was in that trade?
No.
I'd have to look that
I
up.
couldn't tell you who was in a trade last week or two. I mean, I did.
The Cubs saw something in Sammy Sosa. He was young. He was pretty raw when he was with the Chicago White Sox in his very early days. And so he went to the Cubs and then developed and became a superstar over the years. And going to Cubs games over the years and being a Cubs fan, obviously I enjoyed the home runs, but I also enjoyed the way he'd take the field every day.
Yeah.
He'd charge out on the field,
Yes.
run around the
Full
outfield, and
speed.
get everybody fired up in the bleachers.
Did you see the video of him coming out at the convention? He came out and did his whole thing, run around, high-fiving people, getting all excited. It was like how he used to run out onto the field. It was really, really cool to see that.
And that's just what it was. Is we all talked about it backstage before he went out, and he's like, "I'm going to do what I did on 9/11 when he ran out with the American flag, and he's like, I'm going to get them all fired up and charged up. He's like, this is what I'm here for." And he's a showman. He really is. He loves the fans. He loves the people, and he's just such a great down to earth human being.
Yeah, because Brandon, when he deals with these players and celebrities and things, they all have different personalities. Let's be honest, and they all, value their time differently. But Sammy has been, I would say, endearing.
Yeah,
very endearing to Brandon and to everybody he's working with, and very genuine and sincere and patient. You know what I mean? When he's having to sign things and meet the public and things. So that I like as well as a store owner. I'm very selective as to who I want to work with, because sometimes it can kind of go horribly wrong if the signor isn't in the best mood or doesn't really want to participate, or it can be tough sometimes.
Yeah, that can't be good when you try to rally a bunch of people to come to your store and they want autographs, they want to meet the guy, and he's not very nice to them.
And they're not being very nice, quite frankly. Yeah, Sammy's not that. Sammy's very gracious, very endearing to the fans.
Oh, he's
appreciative.
He's excited, as soon as, when the little kids come up, there was multiple little kids that were coming up to him. He was signing their hats, doing everything. I mean, he's really there to make sure you're having a great time and great event. Like, he's truly down to earth and wants to be there for the fans.
A lot of people that I've talked to that I've never met Sammy Sosa, and I don't know him, so I can't make a judgment. But back in his playing years, people that I did know that maybe had met him before, or things that I've heard about his relationship with other players in the clubhouse, he may have been a selfish guy. And maybe it was all about Sammy Sosa when he was younger. But sometimes when you go through some points in your life where you get away from it, and maybe you think about why people don't like you as much as you think they should like you. You have to kind of think about it for a while, and you go, then you start to realize, and you get older, and you wonder, and you think, and maybe Sammy's at that point now, right? He realizes that Cubs fans truly love him for what he did on the field. Maybe he realizes he was a selfish guy in the past, but maybe you learn from your mistakes, right? And so now he's the kind of guy that you really want to meet.
Yeah, and I would say that absolutely. I think he's found himself, honestly, in all reality. When we've talked, and like I said, we have conversations almost once a day where we just talk life. And just listening to the things he says, the advice he gives to me and to everybody else. I mean, he truly does care about people, and it's not all about him. And I've heard stories too, in the past during his playing days when people would try to get autographs and stuff, and he'd say no, and I understand that, because even when we work with modern players today as well, it's they can't even go out and enjoy a meal. We bring them out anywhere, and they can't. enjoy a normal life. So I do understand to a degree, but yeah, I mean, I heard a lot of things about him back then as well.
Well, back then, I remember being the Cubs video intern at the time, so 2002, like right before they had their nice run and eventually, excuse me, had the Bartman game and all that stuff in 2003. But so that was the year before. But he used to love his Big Macs.
Yeah.
So I would be the one running across the street to the McDonald's that's no longer there. I believe it's the hotel or something.
It's a hotel now.
Okay.
Yeah. Clark Street.
Clark and Addison.
That is awesome.
So I would be, at least like once a week or once a homestand, I should say. They were like, hey, kid, go across the street and get Sammy Sosa a couple Big Macs.
Is he still doing that? Is he still loving his McDonald's Big
He
Macs
loves his
or what?
fast food. I'll tell you that. I mean, we go out to fancy dinners. We go out to a lot of places, but I mean, he's, when we're like, hey, what do you want to eat, Sammy? He's like, Domino's Pizza or McDonald's. And it's like, it's never the answers you expect. You're like, this guy's going to want to go to a steakhouse or this guy's going to go here. But no, he loves his fast food.
And the person that he was traded for back in 1992, actually, so it was Sammy Sosa and reliever Ken Patterson traded for George Bell.
That's right. I do remember that now because he was talking about that.
I pride myself on knowing pretty much about sports and people, but I couldn't tell you who Ken Bell was or the other dude.
George Bell.
George Bell.
See? I mean,
reliever Ken Patterson.
Ken Patterson. Sounds like a wrestler from 1982.
George Bell.
Pat Patterson.
George Bell was actually a power hitter who had some success in the major leagues. So at the time, I'm reading about it here, but I can remember George Bell. And
what team was it?
He was with the Toronto Blue Jays.
Okay.
In the 80s, I think, is when he had his most success. The White Sox wanted another power hitter to play behind Frank Thomas and Robin Ventura in their starting lineup. And I guess Sammy was having some issues with White Sox hitting coach Walt Hriniak at the time because Walt wanted Sosa to hit to all fields, not just hit home runs. Sammy, in Walt's mind, I guess, was a fast guy that should get on base because he was fast and could steal. But he went to the Cubs. He got to become a power hitter. He got bigger and hit a franchise record 545 home runs. He actually started with the Texas Rangers for a minute. I forgot about that. In 1989, the Texas Rangers traded Sammy Sosa to the Chicago White Sox. I believe he may have hit his first big league home run with the Texas Rangers.
Interesting.
I know he played for the Orioles.
Maybe we should have him sign a Rangers jersey just
after the
have
Cubs.
one.
The other fun fact is he's the only guy in Major League Baseball history to hit 360 home run seasons.
Wow.
60 home runs in a season 3 times.
Yeah.
They don't even get. Well, they get kind of close to that nowadays.
What was Judge's? Was
Unless you're Judge.
Was it 50 or was it? Did Judge get in 60s? Did he get 60?
I don't think he's in the 60s. 54, 55, something like that.
No, I think he broke.
He broke
Google
the
knows.
American League record for home runs.
That is right. Correct. Yeah.
But he did not.
Break the all-time record. That is
Right.
correct.
I'm getting into baseball stats here. Sorry.
Back in the day when I was in radio in the mid to late 80s, we did not have the internet to seek out information.
No,
we
it
had
was
to
like-
get it off that.
The ticker?
The ticker and the paper thing. You pull the paper off, it would print.
Oh, okay.
The printer, the dot makes printer.
You're not talking about newspapers.
Well, those too, of course. Yeah,
Okay.
the newspapers. It was had to look at to get all the information.
Back in my day.
Yes, sir. We didn't have headphones.
July 29th, 1989, Sammy Sosa was traded by Texas with infielder Scotty Fletcher and Wilson Alvarez to the Chicago White Sox in exchange for Harold Baines
Oh, I know that name.
Yep.
and
absolutely.
Fred Manrique. Baines went to Texas in a Sammy Sosa trade.
He was a pretty good hitter too, Harold Baines.
Yeah. At 9:25 here at WRMN AM 1410, WRMN Radio on YouTube. So thanks for joining us on YouTube. If you have any thoughts for these guys, you're welcome to call in, ask any questions at 847-931-1410. That's the number to call. We have our Image 360 information line, which is 505-926-1410. And Nando has sent a picture to the Image 360 information line. Check this out.
Oh,
Look at that.
Is that a Topps Gold?
Yeah, that's a gold label.
Gold label, they call it.
That is awesome.
Is that that's a baseball card worth something there?
That's his rookie card. So that's
The value isn't super high, but it is what would be considered a cool card because of the gold label. They put gold like foil.
a nostalgic piece.
Yeah, that's a nice for a collector.
Yeah.
That's a great card to have. And that would be an awesome card to get signed, too.
Absolutely.
Right there on the white.
Yeah. So there's Sammy Sosa as a young player with the Chicago White Sox before he was traded to the Cubs in 1992. Thanks for that picture, Nando.
Yeah, thanks, Nando. That was nice.
Let's see. Hector says, go Cubs on YouTube. We have Northwest West checking in. He says, let's see. Chris is great, and his son, Northwest Wesley Jr., and he loved Top Shelf.
Oh, thank you.
Great family business and an asset to the hobby world, I guess is what he's saying there. So.
Well, I paid him to do that. You can take the check to the bank. Thank you for saying that.
Yeah.
No, appreciate that. We are a family-oriented business. That's the fun part of it.
926 here at WRMN. So, off the topic a little bit.
I saw those over there. What do we got going on
I
over
thought,
here?
I'm going to dig into my Cubs collection and bring this stuff in today since we're going to talk about the Cubs.
Yeah.
First of all, I have a Mark Grace jersey.
Okay.
Maybe I'll focus YouTube on me for a second here so I can show the jersey. Mark Grace from his years playing for the Chicago Cubs.
Nice.
Or the big number 17. He played with Sammy Sosa for a long time. Mm-hmm. And they played on the 1998 National League Eastern Division champion team together.
I think there's a street on the north side of Grace. I don't know if it's after
I think it
Mark
might have been there
Grace.
before Mark.
I think it was there before Mark, but I always used to think that.
Yeah. And then Ron Santo.
Yep.
Legendary Chicago Cub. He's on the all-time home run list. Ron Santo, which just came in the mail to me from my dad last week. I didn't realize my dad had this.
Nice.
So, but you're totally in the sports card business at Top Shelf, right? Not all memorabilia and stuff.
The thing is, yes, we're a sports card store, but I really love memorabilia. And so there's a lot of memorabilia in the store. We do sell memorabilia. With the new remodel, there will be more memorabilia. So
Yeah.
it kind of turned into Chris's man cave in the shop. So that's why I'm kind of remodeling because, people are like, Chris, is this a retail store? Or is this your man cave? So I'm taking out a lot of my personal stuff. I'm going to put in a lot more.
So the store's empty now.
So the store is it really is.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're going to get more memorabilia. But it's a mix of cards and memorabilia. I love it.
So with the event that's coming up this week, on February 1st at Old Republic Kitchen and Bar at 155 South Randall Road in Elgin. And Sammy Sosa will be there. He will be signing autographs. You could get pictures with him.
Yep.
Now, when, let's say like Nando brings in his baseball card.
Yeah.
Is there an authenticator there to actually, authenticate Sammy Sosa's?
Yeah, there will be. So Beckett Authentication Services, which is one of the major companies that handles, authentication of autographs, will be coming in from Texas, and they will be live on site to actually put a sticker, which is like a hologram sticker, where you can look up the number online, like on their database website, and it'll tell you like signed at live event in Elgin, Sammy Sosa autograph. So it's really cool.
So there's like a number.
Yep.
You could look it up online in a database.
Yep.
And wow, okay, that's pretty awesome.
That is cool. So I could bring this in, for instance, if I hadn't already gotten it signed. This is a 1989. This is actually from opening night, August 8th, 1988, the first night game the Cubs ever played at Wrigley Field. And it's signed by Ryan Sandberg. Nice. So I had this hat for the longest time, and then I went to an event one time where Ryan Sandberg was at, and he signed it for me. So this is the same type of thing you could do with Sammy Sosa.
You got to get that signed by Sammy.
Yeah. Well, Sammy didn't play for the Cubs in 1988. Ryan Sandberg actually
Still a cool
did.
item, though.
Yeah.
But you want to keep it like that, though, right?
Yeah, I may want to keep it like that.
Yeah, that's good.
So, anyway, we're going to take a quick break here. You want to stick around for a few more minutes?
Sure, we'll stay. Absolutely. Thanks.
Take you for a few more minutes here. We're talking to Chris Keller and to Brandon Summers about Sammy Sosa coming to Old Republic Kitchen and Bar coming up on Saturday, and we'll be right back here on WRMN.
With your 1410 WRMN Newsflash, I'm Sean Kernan. Brought to you by Progressive. The Fox River Trolley Museum is embarking on a fundraising campaign to support the expansion of their historic barn. This expansion project is critical to the museum's mission of preserving its collection of 35 trolley and train cars. You can make a donation by contacting the Fox River Trolley Museum. Kane County launching 4 composting programs using a $500,000 grant to reduce food waste. The programs will use various methods to turn food scraps into compost, which can be used to improve soil health. The initiative will benefit the environment by reducing greenhouse gas emissions and promote sustainable waste management. Charles Witter, 81, is charged with first-degree murder for fatally shooting his wife Helen after an argument. He's said to have called 911, but Helen died at the hospital. Witter is now awaiting trial with his next court appearance set for February 10th. With your 1410 WRMN News Flash, I'm Sean Curdan.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time and skip the regular line at the airport and pay for speedy security. Imagine not having to quickly unpack and pack at the place you already came packed to. And wearing your shoes the whole time you're there? You can't put a price on that kind of luxury. Well, actually you can, and you paid for it. Switch to Progressive and you could save big time for speedy security. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.
What's that sound? That's the sound of Downy Unstoppable scent beads going into your washing machine and giving your clothes freshness that lasts all day long. There it is again. It's like music to your ears, or more like music to your nose. That freshness is irresistible. Let's get a Downy Unstoppables bottle shake. And now a sniff solo. Nice. With Downy Unstoppables, you just toss, wash, wow, for all-day freshness.
Are you ready to take your brand to the next level? Image 360 South Elgin is your ultimate destination for custom signs and visual communication solutions. Looking to rebrand your office interior? Need striking vehicle wraps or decals for your fleet? Or perhaps you're in the market for a standout trade show display? At Image 360 South Elgin, they've got you covered. As your full-service custom sign and graphics partner, they deliver bold solutions and exceptional support. From outdoor signage to eye-catching store signs, indoor graphics to comprehensive branding solutions, they have the experience to elevate your brand's presence. Trust Image 360 to create a long-term partnership that gives your brand 360 degrees of exposure. Visit them at 506 Sundown Road in South Elgin. Image 360 South Elgin. Bold solutions, exceptional support.
This is Sarah Silver with your Fox Valley forecast. Today, snow with cloudy skies and a high near 22. It feels like minus 12 with gusty winds up to 35 miles per hour. Snow likely tonight before 3 a.m., cloudy with a low around 13, rising to 16 overnight. Tomorrow, mostly sunny with a high near 20. Currently, it is 12 degrees and overcast. I'm Sarah Silver on the Talk of the Town, WRMN.
Mornings can start feeling the same. Wake up, brush teeth, go to work. But with breakfast from Wendy's, it's like, wake up, brush teeth, Baconate with a breakfast Baconator. Roll with a sausage breakfast burrito. Buddy it up with a honey buddy. Or get seasoned with seasoned potatoes. And then, go to work. Sorry. When you're ready for a fresh wake-up call, gotta be Wendy's.
At participating U.S. Wendy's during breakfast hours.
Baseball season's underway. Well, you better get ready for a brand new day. Hey, Chicago, what do you say? The Cubs are gonna win today.
9:34 here at WRMN. Snowing outside, so it's interesting to think about talking about baseball, but baseball season not too far away, and the Cubs are a team that's talked about and have been for the past couple of years as being in the hunt again this year, right, Derek? Especially with the acquisition of Kyle Tucker.
I could only hope so.
Astros, yeah.
I could only hope so, but it seems like, I want to temper expectations. Over the last couple of years, it seems like they were on the right track, but, it's one of those things that, the players don't play up to expectations. They don't do what they're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Then, the fans get restless. And I'm probably one of the bigger meatball, Cubs fans, there is. Like, oh, why is this happening? How come they can't get the pitching right? How come they're not hitting? How come, we've got a reliever that's blowing like, a gazillion games and, causing the Cubs to, it can be a little frustrating, and I got to temper it because, as a sports.
So how do you really feel?
Yeah, right. Well, I'm letting my inner meatball come out.
There you go.
Right now. So, I mean, there's that. But, I mean, it's a work in progress, and you're not going to get a World Series every year unless you're apparently the Dodgers and going for it. I don't know.
Well, 2 years ago, the Cubs went 83 and 79. And then they brought in, they let go of David Ross, and they brought in Craig Counsell, and they went 83 and 79. Same record, 2 straight years. Now they've gotten Kyle Tucker as their hope for the outfield to become a new star, and they've let Cody Bellinger go. You like Tucker more than Bellinger, Derek?
He definitely had, in my opinion, he seems to have like a bigger upside. Tucker's a little bit younger. He's a top-notch right fielder. He's going to be bashing the ball around this yard, around the Wrigley Field and everything, despite whatever they say about like the weather conditions there. He's in a contract year, so this is
more to play for. A little more to play for.
Exactly. So he's going to be going the huevos to the wall.
Yeah. So Chris, are you a big sports fan? I mean, what major who do you root for?
I follow baseball, but like I said, I moved to the north side in 2004 and 5, so I really couldn't help but not like the Cubs. I lived a couple blocks from Wrigley there off Clark.
You did?
I did. And so I love and follow baseball. My real favorite sport is football. I love football, but I have to follow sports because it's the industry I'm in, and it is definitely a hobby of mine is sports. Just across the board.
I guess that's what I was asking. Like, you obviously know sports to a certain degree to have all the
always
sports.
have since I was a kid. I've always followed teams.
But as a person that owns a sports card store, follow sports as much as other people, I guess. I mean,
we do, because what happens is you want to know who the hot players are, what items they're selling. I'm a little biased because I grew up a 49ers fan, so I have a lot of 49er stuff in my shop that not many people are coming in to buy.
Brock Purdy helmets?
Yeah, Brock Purdy Super Bowl helmets that he lost, signed. He always teases me that I got autographed Brock Purdy Super Bowl helmets. It's like, well, he was in the Super Bowl. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
But so that's the kind of little changes we're going to see there is I'm going to start being a little bit more Chicago-centric in the store.
Yeah.
That's my goal.
So how long has the store been open now?
I started a store in 2017.
Yeah.
Started the business in 2014 in the basement. And we started out actually in West Dundee by the mall out there. What's the mall out there? Spring Hill Mall.
Spring Hill Mall, yeah.
And so across the street from the mall, there was a little retail center. Kind of like there was a dentist office, an insurance company, an accountant, and I got a little suite in there, a double suite. It's about the size of this studio and a room over.
Okay.
And that's where it started in 17, and then we moved to Larkin. And then from Larkin to here, so 17 till now, whatever, how many years that is. I'm bad at math.
Yeah.
8 years.
8 years, yeah.
For the shop.
And so what made you get into the sports card business? What did you do before that?
I had basically 2 careers my whole life. First one was in radio and record promotions.
Okay.
Up until about 2003, and then that industry died a horrible death because of downloading and streaming and Napster and all those things. And I went and got licensed as a real estate broker and was in real estate. And then, of course, in 2006 and 7, that died a horrible death because of a financial meltdown.
Yeah.
And I decided to get on social media, and I started following sports teams. And I saw somebody opening up cards on camera in 2011. And I thought, wow, what is this? So I started researching it, and I got inspired, and I started my own company in 2014. And that's when breaking and unboxing really was in its infancy stages.
Yeah.
And now it's mainstream. Like
Everyone under the sun.
Everyone under the sun is opening up cards on YouTube Live.
Is that what
that's breaking?
Breaking and unboxing. What are those? What's the definition of those two things?
So if you have a box of cards today, which by the way they average cost $150 to $200 per box.
Wow.
People still come in and buy those boxes.
Yeah.
But it does limit the budget for many people. So what they'll do is they'll take that let's say it's $300. We'll make it easy numbers. You can sell teams in that one $300 box randomly. There's 30 teams, so each team would cost $10. So we run a randomizer, and you match up the 30 teams, and you get your teams for every $10 you spent. You can get 3 teams.
Oh, wow.
So now you got the Orioles, Phillies, and the Cubs. Then we open the box, and with all the cards that come out of that box, if it's your team, you get those cards.
So if you pull a Kyle Tucker autograph and you have the Cubs, you're going to get the Kyle Tucker autograph for $10.
Because we do not know what's in that box exactly. They will tell us there's 3 autographs in there, or 1 autograph, or 2 jerseys or relics.
Really?
But we don't know what teams they are. So it's like a mystery box all the time.
Now, is this like a special event that you guys do over there at Top Shelf?
No, this breaking, I do it every night.
Oh,
you do it every night?
That's quite frankly how we built the business, because people from all over the country can come into my YouTube channel at night or my live streams, and they're purchasing all of these spots and teams.
I remember you had a guy from Australia, right?
Yeah, Australia. I was so excited. One of our first customers, like, he's in freaking Australia. But it's built up over the years. So now when you go into YouTube at night on our YouTube channel, people come in the chat room and they go to our website and they buy things. But now there's apps right on your phone, real time. It's like it's basically like an online casino. It looks like, quite frankly, stuff blowing up, and it's very gamified. So it's gotten really big, and it really helped fund to open up the brick and mortar shop.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what is your YouTube page? How do you get to your YouTube page?
It's youtube.com/TSB Live Breaks.
TSB
Live Breaks.
Live Breaks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What time do you do this every night?
We go on the air approximately 7 or 8 o'clock at night, and I'm there till midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning.
Really?
I've always been a night owl, so I kind of captured the late night crowd and crew. Dads put the kids to bed, and it's dad time, and they want to come hang out in the chat room and talk sports and open up cards. They can also buy a box. They can say, hey, Chris, I want to buy a box. So they'll send the money over or buy it, and then I open the box for them on camera, and then we just ship them all their stuff.
Wow.
Oh, that's cool.
So you got to do a lot of things like that to make a sports card business work, right?
Yeah.
I mean, just to open up a shop, sell sports cards, you got to be interactive with people from all over the place to have success with this.
Yeah, it's a large, you reach a bigger audience. Now I've focused on getting a local audience, because breaking got so big that before, when people walk in the store and I talk to them about breaking, they go, what is that? I never heard of it. I don't know what it is. But nowadays, somebody's breaking with some other breaker across the country somewhere. So they say, why would I break with these guys up in San Francisco or New York when I can support local, and I'll do breaks with you, Chris? And then they just come pick up their cards the next day. They don't have to wait for them to get shipped.
Now, do you ever have it where someone could actually come in with you and do a break?
We have done that, yes. We do trade nights at the shop where all the kids come in, and we turn on the feed live, and the kids can open up their cards on camera.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's really a big thing.
Well, we have a phone call, 847-931-1410. It's the guy that sent the Sammy Sosa White Sox picture to show. It's Nando checking in with us this morning. Hey, Nando, good morning.
Hey, Mark. Hi, Derek.
Howdy.
Let's see, Brandon and Chris, right? Yeah.
Hi.
You guys doing?
How are you?
Hi, thanks for calling.
I have a question to Derek first.
Okay.
I know the third base is open because of that trade for Kyle Tucker. And Asias Paredes, Asias Paredes. Is Brian Shaw coming up to play third base? Do you know offhand?
Offhand, I would say it really depends on the way that his spring training goes. If he's going to be one of the players that has looked really, really hard, because obviously they still need a third baseman. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Nando.
Yeah, I knew that spot was open, brother, and that was the one question I was scratching to my head, because I card collect, of course that's why I said that picture, but
sure,
I have a few of the Brian Shaws, but out of the Bowman. I'm pretty sure Chris knows that brand, so I'm trying to figure out, do I really put them up and then start putting some stuff on eBay on my end? But, that's my question. And then can I ask Chris a question?
Oh, yeah.
I heard earlier, too, brother, that you had an authenticator being there with Sosa at the Old Republic, right? But do you have that same authenticator there with you at your Top Shelf store?
No, we do not, but we do bring them in for a special event where we'll advertise it maybe a month in advance or so, And then the customers come on, let's say like it's March 17th, Beckett or PSA or JSA authenticators will be in the store. And that's when everybody brings in all of their items and you can pay for them and get them authenticated then. So no, they're not always on site. They just come out and do our special events. Right, Brandon?
Yep, correct.
Yeah. You got to get some stuff authenticated. We can send it in for you. We can help you facilitate sending it in to them. But a lot of people don't like sending their thing through the mail because they're afraid it gets lost and then you lose your collectible.
Actually, brother, what happened is I framed an 8x10 autographed Kobe Bryant with rookie cards way before the grading came out. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, that's great.
And it's a Kobe Bryant autograph, but he signed it with the hashtag number 8. But then when I go online, Chris, I see that Kobe does his K different than what this is. But then it has on the 8x10 on the bottom a hologram that it's authenticated. But it was never, like how you say, graded, brother, because I did this in the 90s. I went to Hobby Lobby here right down on Randall, and I had the individual just frame it for me. If I have time, I'll send it to Mark right now so he can show it. And that was the question, brother. And then to Brandon, thank you so much for bringing Sosa to the Elgin community. We're truly grateful, thankful for that, to boost our sports, enthusiast people that come out, for Sosa. Hopefully we can all come out and support that, cause, from all three of you guys.
No, absolutely. And I really appreciate the kind words, too. He's really excited to be here. We're all excited to have him in Elgin, and it's going to be a great event.
And that's Saturday, February 1st from 12 to 3:30 p.m. at Old Republic Kitchen and Bar.
Thanks, Nano.
Thank you.
Yeah, you guys take care. I'm going to try to send a picture real quick.
Okay.
Hopefully I don't get off of time, but yeah, that'd be awesome. Thank you so much, guys.
Take care,
man.
bud.
Take care. Send a picture.
Stay warm.
All right, bye. All right, so there it is on YouTube, by the way. I just laid the flyer down on the board here. That's why it looks like it does.
There you go.
And took a picture of it.
Nice.
Meet Slammin' Sammy, Chicago baseball legend Sammy Sosa. Saturday, February the 1st from noon to 3:30. Old Republic Kitchen and Bar. Great place. Have some lunch. You can buy tickets at TopShelfSportsCards.com. And how much do tickets cost, Chris?
$99 for a flat item, which is like a photo or baseball. And then premium items are $149. That's bats and large posters, jerseys, things like that. You can get a picture with Sammy for $89. You'll get a nice post photo in front of the banner. You can have up to 4 or 5 people in your picture. And the authentication is available on site. Also, they're $10 to get your authentication sticker.
Is Old Republic, is it a private event, or is Old Republic going to be open to the public if you don't want to bring an item in and you just want to come
It's
to
open to the public.
Okay.
There's nothing changed, and that's what that's what they want as the owners of the restaurant. So
yeah,
it's open. You don't have to have a ticket to get into the tent to hang out. We want people we want people to be in there. We want people to listen to the Q&A, and if they want to purchase tickets on site, they can do that as well. Yep.
Yeah, and if we're gonna maybe if we were able to lucky enough to maybe organize a broadcast that morning, it'd be kind of nice to have the public come into the tent and hang out a little bit, Derek. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be putting my feet to the fire. That's for sure.
Yeah, that'd be great. So, Brandon, how did you hook up with Chris? And I'm trying to figure out this whole dynamic. How did this all come together?
So this is actually a funny story. So I've been in the sports card and sports memorabilia industry for since I was 9. So 9 or 10 years old. So about 20 or 18 years now, I would say. I met Chris when I was, how old was I?
Well, you weren't driving.
No, my grandma used
to have to bring you over.
Yes.
So you were 14 or so, 14?
Yep. And I started working with him in his basement when he was doing his breaks down there and sorting cards for him and shipping, packing, doing stuff like that. And Chris,
Yeah, he was my first employee, so to speak. He'd come over to the house and help me with the sorting and the packing and the shipping. He knew cards, so he was a whiz. You know what I mean? He lived. He'd go to every single show he could go to. He had Tom Brady autographs, Tom Brady rookies back then.
Oh, wow.
He was sharp. He's what you call a sharp. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I saw that, and we just developed, a rapport and relationship way back then. And then he has his sports card store. It was in Streamwood. It's now in West Dundee, or what is it?
Yeah, West Dundee.
Downtown by the river. Some sports cards. He has a shop too.
Did not know that. Okay.
Some things are changing with him, but he does have a nice place down there along the river. And we just remain friends and contacts over all these years. As I moved up the industry and he moved up in the industry, and we stayed in touch, and it's just a great dynamic for the two of us to work together. It doesn't happen often, but we're good together.
No, we both have a different, business model when it comes to that stuff. Our stuff is 99% online as far as, autograph signings go. And, we book large events for people and also go out and find super high-end cards for certain clients. Like Stephen Curry once bought a rookie card from us. So a lot of the athletes and stuff, they actually buy their own cards. So, like, we sold cards to Allen Iverson before. So a lot of these players, they actually want to go out and find something that is, for themselves. And we've just got such a great reputation in the industry that, these guys have trust issues when it comes to these things, obviously, because of everything going on with, people trying to take advantage of one another in this industry, which is unfortunate. But once you have a great rapport and a great relationship and word of mouth, it's one thing after another. That's kind of how we met Sammy as well. It's, word of mouth. This kid's a good kid. So
yeah. Well, here's the picture that Nando sent, I guess, of Kobe Bryant there. In the frame, doing a lot of things. It's about as big as I can make it right now on the spot. But so there's.
I see the.
Oh, it's pretty cool.
I see the sticker. It's a great collage, and they did a good job framing. It's just with the back in the in those days in the 2000s, I guess it was. You don't know what authentication company that is. Do you know what I mean? I can't tell. Brandon's the expert when it comes to that stuff, but we can't see it.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's awesome. It's got some rookie cards in there, one of each. I mean, yeah, it's a nice piece. It really is.
So there you go. So hopefully you get a little information there, Nando. Well, thank you guys for coming in today. Again, a big event coming up on Saturday, and I'm trying to bring it up here one more time to
February 1st.
February the 1st, that's right. Saturday, February the 1st. And it would be Sammy Sosa appearing at the Old Republic. And here it is finally for you to look at. And so it should be great. And I appreciate you guys coming in today.
Thank you for having me.
We'll have to talk more, Chris, in the future to you about Top Shelf and do some other things like that again.
I'm ready. Let's do it.
It sounds good.
Thank you.
Thank you guys so much.
Derrick, thanks for coming in too.
Thanks, Mark. Appreciate it.
All right, buddy.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
9:52 here at WRMN AM 1410 and WRMN Radio on YouTube. I'll come right back with some final words on the show today in just a moment.
Are you dreaming of a getaway? Want to leave the stress of daily life behind? Whether it's a relaxing cruise or an adventurous land escape, planning the perfect vacation doesn't have to be a hassle.
Awesome.
At Cruises International, they specialize in vacation destinations, land and sea, making your dreams come true. Located at 1721 Moon Lake Boulevard in Hoffman Estates, Cruises International isn't just about booking travel. They're your personal concierge, trusted travel advisor, and advocate. Your preferences are unique, and they'll take the time to understand exactly what you're looking for. From personalized service to their global network of specialists, they ensure that your vacation is tailor-made just for you. It's time to plan the vacation of a lifetime. Call 800-255-7447. That's 800-255-7447 today and speak to a cruise and vacation expert. Cruises International. It's time to set sail to your dream destination.
Businesses come in all shapes and sizes. Integrity doesn't. For more than a century, the Better Business Bureau has set the standards for how businesses should operate honestly and ethically. So when you're looking for a business you can trust, check to see who's BBB accredited and who isn't. Always choose the better business. Look for the BBB seal because it's looking out for you. That's why it's the sign of a better business. And find a better business anytime at bbb.org.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go, shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit notimetowait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Get ready for Around the House every Saturday night from 5 to 7 p.m. on WRMN AM 1410. If you're a homeowner or contractor looking to tackle those projects that feel a bit too big, this is the show for you. Join Eric along with his knowledgeable guests as they dive deep into everything from DIY renovations to creating a healthy home environment. We'll provide you with the tools and tips you need to complete your projects with confidence and ease. But it's not all work and no play. We believe in having fun. Our passion for home improvement shines through as we help you save time, money, and reduce the stress of DIY. So whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, don't miss Around the House. Tune in every Saturday night and let's tackle those home projects together.
Well, I wanted just a couple of final minutes with just me and you. Me and you. But thanks to Chris and Brandon. Great time. I love talking sports, and I'm glad Chris is having success with Top Shelf Sports Cards, and I kind of believe this is probably the beginning of us working together again in the future. So that's cool. Good stuff. Thanks, Nando, for calling in. And thanks, Northwest West and Northwest Wesley Jr. II. He's at school, but his dad chimed in this hour. Now we go from last up on the final YouTube comments of the day. The last one comes from the commander. I guess he made it back here safely. He says, "Hi, Brandon. Great job with your business. Long time no see." I guess the commander, Mark Smith, knows Brandon, who was here this morning and is one of the managers, quote unquote, for Sammy Sosa, who will be in town. Maybe we can catch Sammy that morning for a couple minutes. He can swing him by the table if we're going to broadcast live from there. If we finalize that, we'll let you know. We'll be all over it and let you know in advance if you want to swing out and see us at the Old Republic, if that indeed happens. But it's not there yet, so let's take it one step at a time. Let's see. Northwest West asks if Chris has the next trade night scheduled yet. Didn't get a chance to ask him that. Sorry about that, Wes. Thanks, Al Cox, for chiming in. He says, Lou Graham does Christian rock now. We were talking about bands and replacement band members earlier this morning on the show. No Nickname John checked in, says, "I am terribly sorry to hear the sad news about Chris Bailey. She was a great local writer and reporter. Passed away, I read that in the news earlier this morning, at the age of 71 down in Scottsdale, Arizona." Well, yeah, that's sad. I never met Chris, but thanks for the little tribute there, No Nickname John. Dino checked in earlier this morning to say, "God morning, FRV, first shift, Marky B. Make the best of your day. I have a committal service to present for a brother knight and friend Roy Baldoff. May he rest in peace. Friend Roy Baldoff." Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. Thanks for your work, Dino, out at Tent City and interviewing Jeff Knox out there. We played a piece of that earlier on the morning show today. Boy, it seems like we've had 4 morning shows on the same morning show today. Sifting through different things. L Train was here for an hour. We heard from Mayor Mike Reed out of Hampshire this morning. And tomorrow morning, it'll be Larry Jones in studio, so we look forward to that. Call in and talk to Larry. He's going to be with me from 7 until 9 tomorrow morning here on the first shift. Pretty good little clip of snow falling right now. I think this is a little more than we thought. So the crews I'm sure, are going to be out and about. I see snow building on the street here outside, so be careful out there. It's probably pretty slick. This may last another hour or two, and then take a break in the afternoon, then come back for a little more tonight. So maybe we're getting a little more than we thought here in the Fox River Valley. So be careful today. Matt will update you on all the details. He will be on next with Out to Lunch. We have Talk Time with Tammy this afternoon from 2 until 4, and a political talk show this afternoon. Sonar and Ben and the boys, and occasionally it's Cecilia joining them from 4 until 6. All right, enjoy the snow, but be careful in it, and I'll talk to you tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. on a Thursday first shift right here on WRMN.
Are you unemployed, underemployed, or considering a career change? Or maybe you're looking to take your career to the next level? The Business and Career Services, located at 1400 South Wolf Road, Building 200 in Wheeling, Illinois, is here to help. As a nonprofit organization, BCS supports all aspects of career development, from personalized career coaching and resume help to interview prep and even funding for job training. We're your partner in navigating high-growth careers. And it's not just individuals who benefit. Businesses can also rely on BCS for recruitment support, training resources, and strategies to retain top talent. Whether you're looking to grow your career or business, BCS has the resources and expertise to help you succeed. Find out more today at bcsillinois.org or call 847-484-8187. That's 847-484-8187. BCS, your future, our mission.
Your hometown radio station since 1949. We are WRMN AM 1410, Elgin time, 10 o'clock.
With your 1410 WRMN Newsflash, I'm Sean Curdan. Brought to you by Progressive. Kane County launching 4 composting programs using a $500,000 grant to reduce food waste. The programs will use various methods to turn food scraps into compost, which can be used to improve soil health. The initiative will benefit the environment by reducing greenhouse gas emissions and promote sustainable waste management. Charles Witter, 81, is charged with first-degree murder for fatally shooting his wife Helen after an argument. He's said to have called 911, but Helen died at the hospital. Witter is now awaiting trial with his next court appearance set for February 10th. The Fox River Trolley Museum is embarking on a fundraising campaign to support the expansion of their historic barn. This expansion project is critical to the museum's mission of preserving its collection of 35 trolley and train cars. You can make a donation by contacting the Fox River Trolley Museum. With your 1410 WRMN Newsflash, I'm Sean Curdan.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time and skip the regular line at the airport and pay for speedy security. Imagine not having to quickly unpack and pack at the place you already came packed to. And wearing your shoes the whole time you're there? You can't put a price on that kind of luxury. Well, actually you can, and you paid for it. Switch to Progressive and you could save big time for speedy security. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.
What's that sound? That's the sound of Downy Unstoppable scent beads going into your washing machine and giving your clothes freshness that lasts all day long. There it is again. It's like music to your ears, or more like music to your nose. That freshness is irresistible. Let's get a Downy Unstoppables bottle shake. And now a sniff solo. Nice. With Downy Unstoppable, you just toss, wash, wow, for all-day freshness.
From the pages of the Elgin newspapers of 100 years ago today, these are the headlines brought to you by the Elgin History Museum.
I'm Nick Freeman, and here's what was happening 100 years ago today. Warn of snow put into river. Pollution of Fox River by the dumping of snow into the waters is warned against by Chief Engineer M.G. Barnes of the State Department of Public Works and Buildings in a letter received by Mayor Earl R. Kelly today. According to the Chief Engineer, complaints against this practice had been received at the state office. We've been dumping nothing but clean snow in the river, Commissioner R.E. Hunter explained today. There hasn't been an ounce of refuse dumped. How can the snow be anything but clean immediately after a snowfall? It would be different if we were picking up litter along with the snow, but we're not. In other water-related news, a water fountain broken. A damaged water fountain in Fountain Square caused a considerable flurry yesterday afternoon when the fountain broke and a stream of water shot skyward. The geyser was reduced by the water department, and this morning the water was completely shut off. The fountain, it was explained, has been cracked and that it broke when someone ran into it.
Elgin 100 Years Ago is a presentation of the Elgin History Museum. Be sure to visit the museum located at 360 Park Street in Elgin, open Wednesday through Saturdays 11 to 4. You can also listen to Elgin 100 Years Ago at www.elginhistory.org.
This is Sarah Silver with your Fox Valley forecast. Today, snow with cloudy skies and a high near 22. It feels like minus 12 with gusty winds up to 35 miles per hour. Snow likely tonight before 3 a.m., cloudy with a low around 13, rising to 16 overnight. Tomorrow, mostly sunny with a high near 20. Currently, it is 12 degrees and overcast. I'm Sarah Silver on the Talk of the Town, WRMN.
Mornings can start feeling the same. Wake up, brush teeth, go to work. But with breakfast from Wendy's, it's like, wake up, brush teeth, baconate with a breakfast Baconator, roll with a sausage breakfast burrito, buddy it up with a honey buddy, or get seasoned with seasoned potatoes, and then go to work. Sorry. When you're ready for a fresh wake-up call, gotta be Wendy's.
At participating U.S. Wendy's.
Businesses come in all shapes and sizes. Integrity doesn't. For more than a century, the Better Business Bureau has set the standards for how businesses should operate honestly and ethically. So when you're looking for a business you can trust, check to see who's BBB accredited and who isn't. Always choose the Better Business. Look for the BBB seal because it's looking out for you. That's why it's the sign of a better business. And find a better business anytime at bbb.org.
Are you prepared for an emergency or disaster? Because it's not a matter of if, but when. Don't find yourself saying,
I'll trust water bottles and a flashlight to save the day, but I'll be proved wrong.
With a tornado approaching, I'll realize that I lack a wheelchair-accessible shelter.
When the floodwaters rise, I'll be up in the attic with 20 cans of beans. It's a recipe